Welcome viewers to the edition of 284 News. I am bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. Thank you so much for joining us. The Royal Virgin Islands Police have seized 2 illegal firearms within 48 hours, following a series of violent incidents, including a shooting, armed robbery, and a police chase which officers were shot at. These events come amid a troubling rise in firearms offences in the territory, with the 2025 seizure total now at 14 firearms and nearly 1,000 rounds of ammunition, marking a significant increase over the previous years. The Royal Virgin Islands Police seized 2 illegal guns within 48 hours and have responded to 3 serious crimes that occurred, including a shooting, armed robbery, and an incident which police were shot at during the chase. The incidents come amid an alarming increase in firearms offences across the territory. On Wednesday, July 17th, at approximately 7:15 p.m., police reported to a report of suspicious activities in Rotown. 2 17-year-old boys were arrested after officers discovered a loaded Glock 19 pistol with 12 rounds of ammunition. The operation brought the total number of firearms seized in 2025 to 13, and the total number of rounds of ammunition seized this year to 995, a 67% increase over the same period in 2024. Acting Police Commissioner Jacqueline Vanterpool commended the officers for their quick response and stated that the department continues to work hard to bring down gun-related crimes. Every successful effort we make to get illegal weapons off our streets is a step towards safer Virgin Islands, Vanterpool said. The diligence and commitment shown by our officers are a representation of what the REPRESENT stands for and our mission to keep safety and security in the territory. 2 days later, on Friday 19 July, more firearms and rounds of ammunition were discovered when the police carried out another stop-and-check operation in Huntamsgut. 1 man was taken into custody in connection with the find. The seize raised the number of firearms recovered this year to 14. The same evening, REPRESENT officers were also called to 3 separate serious incidents across Sotola. In the vicinity of Dove's Bottom, the officers were chasing the suspect in a suspected vehicle theft were shot at directly. No officers were injured. In addition, police attended an armed robbery outside a Rotown nightclub where a male was held for cash, and a shooting in Longbush which sent a male to hospital with lower body gunshot wounds. Commissioner Vanterpool called the night a dangerous escalation and said that police investigations into all 3 incidents are ongoing. While we're making progress in ridding our streets of illegal weapons, incidents like tonight show our work is far from finished, she said. We will not tolerate attacks on our officers and community members. The REPRESENT is encouraging the public to report suspicious activity. Persons can contact the intelligence unit at 368-9339 or report anonymously to Crime Stoppers at 800-8477 tips, including for overseas use, 284-800-8477. Following a mission to London to meet with UK Overseas Territory Minister Stephen Doughty and members of the British Parliament for bilateral discussion, Premier Dr. Natalia Whitley has recommitted the Virgin Islands to accountable good governance, transparency, compliance with global financial standards. At a press conference on Monday, July 21st, the Premier said that Minister Doughty has acknowledged the BVI's compliance in full with the Commission of Inquiry's recommendations and praised the ongoing reform to governance. The matter is expected to be considered for a final decision about the future of the Order in Council by the end of July.
I was certainly pleased that Minister Doughty acknowledged our progress on the Commission of Inquiry recommendations implementation. He certainly acknowledged that we did everything that we've been asked to do. He was particularly concerned about ensuring that we can sustain the level of progress that we've made on the Commission of Inquiry into perpetuity. So that is something certainly that I would say they would be very conscious of. How do we ensure that it's sustained through possible different administrations, sustained into the future? But he did acknowledge that we, and commended and applauded us for the work that we did on the Commission of Inquiry. We also had discussions on, of course, beneficial ownership information, and we also had an illicit finance dialogue where we had a conversation with all the overseas territories And of course, let me just say, as it pertains to the legitimate interest access, I'm pleased that Minister Doughty, the FCDO, and even Baroness Hodge, the anti-corruption czar, has acknowledged that legitimate interest access is the way to go.
The Premier also reported that the Virgin Islands' application of international sanctions had been praised, and he credited the UK for providing critical capacity support in this area. Much of the discussion centered on beneficial ownership transparency. Minister Whitley outlined the development of the new Virgin platform, which replaced the BOSS system by early 2026. The platform will be centralized beneficial ownership and economic substance information and support the global shift towards legitimate interest access. During the UK Overseas Territory Illicit Finance Dialogue, the Premier extended an invitation to the UK anti-corruption TISA Baroness Margaret Hodge to visit the BVI. This move was later contradicted by the Minister Doughty, who claimed he instructed Hodge to undertake a fact-finding mission.
I was a little surprised at how the visit was characterized in some of the media reports. That doesn't reflect my recollection at all. Of course, we spoke about Baroness Hodge's visit during our bilateral, and I expressed to Minister Doughty that we would be happy to invite Baroness Hodge to the BVI. And then I followed up in the illicit finance dialogue, and there were several persons on the call, so certainly many persons can bear me out. I took that opportunity in that dialogue to invite Baroness Hodge to the Virgin Islands. So this whole concept that she's being deployed on a fact-finding mission to figure out why, progress is lagging in the Virgin Islands is not necessarily the narrative that I would endorse.
Premier Whitley stressed that the new laws and police schooling and training to develop the governance reforms have been codified. Now the frontier is to make sure these reforms continue across future administrations, while also putting in place mechanisms that prevent retrogression. The Premier also met with key parliamentarians, including Speaker Sir Lindsay Hoyt, Jack Ranking MP, Dr. Al Pincher MP, and Sarah Champion MP. Talks rank from democracy to climate resilience, and support was expressed for the dedicated Climate Fund for Overseas Territories. In response to ongoing queries about the whereabouts about the missing $5 million for the Bank of Asia, Premier Whitley indicated that an update has not been yet received on the auditor's report. He repeated that it will be premature to comment before the investigation has concluded. In response to ongoing queries about the whereabouts of the missing $5 billion from the Bank of Asia, Premier Whitley indicated that an update has not been yet received on the auditor's report. He repeated that it will be premature to comment before the investigation has concluded. Growing concerns over organized crime and gun violence in the region were also on the radar. The UK and Jamaica are partnering to counter transnational criminal networks, and there is a talk of permanent British presence in the Caribbean. As the Virgin Islands approaches the 75th anniversary of the parliamentary democracy, Premier Whitley said the territory's voice is now being heard and respected internationally. A team of 5 Virgin Islands students have been selected to compete at the 2025 Force Global Challenge in Panama City from October 29th to November 1st. The team formed during the closing ceremony of the Summer Robotics Camp includes top achievers from Elmhurst High School and Brigada Flax Education Center. More in this report. The team of 5 Virgin Islands students have been chosen to compete in its year's Force Global Challenge in Panama City from October 29th through November 1st. The exciting news was delivered during the closing ceremony of the 2025 Summer Robotics Camp, where the students were celebrated for their achievements and invited to form Team BVI. The team includes Elmhurst High School graduate Jaron Gibson and Denise Scatliff-Chawel, the 12th graders Judea Case and Kiara Smith, and 11th grader Elijah Brooks from Brigada Flax Education Center. The students will form teams with pairs from more than 190 countries to compete under the theme Eco-Equilibrium, focusing on biodiversity and environmental sustainability. The event is designed to inspire global teamwork, requiring co-design and build in STEM-related projects. The FORCE Global Challenge is one of the world's preeminent international robotics competition for high school students, bringing together youth to demonstrate the immense potential of robotics technology to address pressing issues. The team will train more ahead of October championship. Dare Erickson made history on July 19, 2025 by setting a new national record for the BVI in the women's 100-meter hurdles, clocking 13:28 seconds at the last chance qualifier meet in Powder Springs, Georgia. More in this report. Dare Erickson, writing yet another chapter in BVI athletics history, lowered the national mark for the women's 100-meter hurdles to 13:28 seconds. Erickson sets her record at the last chance qualifier meet Saturday, July 19, 2025 in Powder Springs, Georgia, where she finished second overall. Already the BVI's fastest ever hurdler, she improved her previous all-time mark in season, which has been seen steady increasing at both 600 meters and 100-meter hurdles. Her latest results were made possible by consistency, focus, and keen attention to technique. It also confirms her status as one of the BVI's top sprint hurdles specialists. Now the Caribbean's likewise an emerging force in this event. Much more than an individual triumph, Erickson's performance turns up the heat on the BVI's wider regional and even global athletes movement. Her achievement not only stands for the highest quality, but ongoing extension of the territory's presence in world track and field as well.
Just give me my service. Yeah. Just give me my service.
Just give me my service.
Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, Life Unlimited.
Start the year off with more. More speed, more downloading, more savings, and more fire. CCT Fire Fiber Internet gives you the speed you need to keep the whole family connected. Packages starting at $119 with speeds from 300 megabytes per second, super fast, unlimited downloads, even more reliable connectivity, plus free live streaming TV for the family to enjoy. Sign up for the absolute best fiber internet service in the BVI, CCT Fire, and pay no installation fee. Plus, get CCT Live TV for free. You deserve more. Get more with CCT. Life Unlimited.
My name's Henry Bosch. I work for PPG. I'm here to explain to you the use of the Deltron NXT paint line and Enviro-based high performance, one being solvent-borne and the next being waterborne. The difference is that one is totally manufactured with resins and thinners and all the good stuff that solvents bring versus our new technology, which is waterborne, which is 100% latex. What we're gonna do is that we reduce the solvent-borne with a DT885, which is a mid-temp reducer, and the waterborne uses T494, which is a waterborne reducer. We will today be using either DCU 2042, which is a speed clear, or we will be using DCU 2021, which is a classic. We have here our equipment. We have 8-ounce measuring cups, and we also have our 32-ounce mixing cup. We will also have with us our Venturi. This is a blower for us to dry the waterborne paint, which speeds up the process. The good thing about waterborne paint is that as soon as it evaporates, you're good to go. So now Gilligan will dilute the waterborne paint with the waterborne reducer. We made 8 ounces, that would be 1.6 ounce. It always has to be properly mixed until we get an even mixture within the paint mixing cup. So when we spray, we don't see uneven coats of color. So right now we're filling our paint gun with 8 ounces of diluted paint. We're gonna see how far 8 ounces will take us. Waterborne paint seems to look blotchy on your first coat. Don't pay no mind to that. Don't try to achieve full coverage on your first spray. Excellent. Let it dry. So the process in waterborne is 2 even coats, and then we have what we call a dust coat. Well, now we're gonna have Mr. Brown apply the first coat of clear on his waterborne panel. We'll let it flash off, and then he'll come back and coat it with his second coat to finish it off. As you had seen in the previous shots, we had a little blotchiness, and you'll see some patches. That's all due on purpose to sandpaper to prove that with Enviro-based high performance, all technicians, the body work has to end at 800 grit or plus. Well, Enviro-based is like we're trying to shift everyone into that slowly but surely. The entire west coast of the United States and all of Canada has already been on waterborne for the past 10 years. And now soon it'll be the eastern seaboard, which covers the Caribbean. So when that happens, we'll all be affected. So it's best to start now, start trying and applying waterborne, because eventually everyone will be on it. And referring to technicians, it's less harmful because it doesn't have all the toxic chemicals that solvent-borne paints do.
24 Media's Jacka Wooden and Kayla Penn took to the festival grounds on Thursday, 24th July, to take in the first event of the 2025 Emancipation Festival Village. They filed this report.
It is Thursday, the 24th of July, and of course we are here at the festival grounds to start off festival the right way, I'd like to say. Don't you think so, Kayla?
Yes, definitely. We are starting off the right way with gospel, definitely blessing these festivities that are on the way.
All right, so we had the opportunity, of course, to engage with the crowd and speak with a few key people at this event. Here are those interviews. Right, so first off, I had the pleasure of bumping into Arvin Hodge, Pastor Arvin Hodge. Yes, and
Baptist Church.
Of course, and we're here on Gospel Night, and I think it's so fitting to speak to you first about the importance of opening the Emancipation Festival this way.
It's very important because we have to remember we had nothing without God. God started everything. And we have to also remember that God is the reason why we're still here. It's not only a year that has passed, but it's also a time that we can celebrate our freedom. And we cannot be free if we don't know God. God is the author and the finisher of our faith. And as we start Gospel Fest, to me, this is declaring Emancipation 2025 open. Because God is saturating this place. And once God has started something, He's going to finish it, and we can't do nothing about it.
And of course, we're gearing up for the opening ceremony tomorrow. I believe your name is on the program. Are you looking forward to getting on the stage, of course, doing the invocation and leading the way for the festivities to come?
I am very pleased, I'm very humbled to be asked to do this because God is my everything. And to come to our Emancipation 2025, we talk about unity, we talk about love. But we can't have love and we can't have unity if we know God. And to be offered the opinion, to be offered the timing to come and say and give the invocation to celebrate 2025 is a great experience. And it's a humbling privilege for me, and I thank God for it.
Can we expect to see you at the Sunday morning activity as well? You might end up missing that one.
I might miss that one, but again, if I really would like the churches to understand our responsibility. We call ourselves the salt of the earth, but yet we want to stay in the bottom. How can we season this place if we stand aside and look? We are the salt of the earth to preserve this place. We can't stand by and say, nah, I don't want to do that. Nah. If God is in us, we have to celebrate Him. Why were our forefathers free? God freed them. Why are we celebrating Emancipation 2025? God freed us. And if we are free, we should be free indeed. Not only saying it, but living it.
All right, so of course we want you to enjoy the rest of the season. Do you have any words for the people who intend to come out to the events, the people who intend to participate
a lot to say. But my only thing is, let's be safe for this 2025. Let's enjoy each other's company. We cannot do anything, we cannot have anything unless we have each other. We cannot experience anything unless we love each other. We cannot share anything unless we learn how to be united. I could always remember when Hurricane Irma passed. The first thing you said, we said after, how you doing today? Thank God for life. I am still of the opinion I can say thank God for life. And if we are celebrating our freedom, we should come out and grow, families having a good time, people coming from all over, and say thank God for life.
All right. Thank you so much, Pastor. We'll let you go enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you.
Okay, so I feel like anybody who goes outside would know who you are, but maybe some of our viewers don't go outside, so introduce yourself for the people.
Yeah, so my name is DOUGHTY. I'm a musician. I'm in a band called Exclusive, and I'll be outside for the Virgin Island Festival. You'll see me all kind of places, yeah, I mean, but we're doing it for the culture. We're doing it for the culture. Yeah. So.
Now, I love how you said outside for the festival, like you're not outside the rest of the year. But okay, we'll let you have that one. What are you looking forward to for Emancipation?
I just looking for unity, even though I know it's gonna be hard to come here this year. But I'm looking for unity. I'm looking for people to enjoy themselves. We have no excuse but to enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? We have no excuse too. So I just looking for people to come out, enjoy themselves, and spend your money, eat your food, drink your drinks, have a good time. Yeah.
All right. Now, of course, you stay on a stage. You know, you stay on a stage, you stay on a truck. But when you're not doing that, and you get to come out to events, what's your favorite part of the festival?
I think my favorite part, I have to have two. It's two things. So sometimes I like to come out and just watch them, listen and watch what's going on stage. I like to analyze like the different sounds, the different engineering tactics. And the other side of me likes to just enjoy myself, zoning out the overthinking part of me that likes to analyze things and just enjoy myself. Go around family, eat, drink, just enjoying myself. Sometimes I stay out really late, just enjoying myself, not thinking about much. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, any words for the other young men coming out for a festival? You know, we're focusing on safety this year. We've seen some crazy things happen in recent years. Any words for them?
Well, what I would advise, try keep out of the way. Hold the side, hold the corner. We ain't looking for any badness, no violence this summer. We're just looking for good vibes, good time. Festival call is here, so we got to answer and just enjoy ourselves. Ain't no time for no badness and what's not. So we got to just enjoy ourselves, for sure.
All right, so we're going to let you go and enjoy yourself now. Thanks.
Definitely. Peace.
Who do I have the pleasure to speaking with today?
I'm Dr. Mike, co-chair.
Pastor Javon Klein, also co-chair of the Virgin Islands Heritage Month Committee.
Nice. And what is the importance of starting the festivities with Gospel Night?
Well, the importance of it is fundamental to who we are as a people. So we just wish that it continues to be a prominent part, not only in word, but in action, indeed in action. When we were liberated from slavery, what happened is, and I read the proclamation in church, the people's jubilation fell from the church into the streets, and where that whole Juve and Sunday morning thing came from, into the morning, came from church. So God is continually in charge of what we do, so we have to continue to put God first. So it's not just a show, it's about what we understand that our beginning and our foundation comes from.
Yeah, I think he said a whole lot right there. What I can add to it, if I could build some type of analogy, you know, before we have a meeting, we pray. Before we eat, we pray. As a people, that's what we understand, that's what we do. Why would we take God out of the initiation, the beginning of a celebration? Let's remember why we're supposed to be having festival, to celebrate our freedom. If we're really celebrating our freedom, we gotta start with God.
Definitely a beautiful way to start. Definitely a beautiful way to start. Another question I'd like to ask, what are your hopes for this festival?
Well, the hopes is that the word, even beyond this time, I know it's going to be there, that people are just inspired to live. And as we go to August 3rd, August 3rd or August 4th for the Emancipation celebration, remember we're going to start off in the Governor's House at 3 o'clock. And we have the March to the Emancipation Service, Emancipation Well, where we celebrate officially emancipation, we read the proclamation. So I want people to be inspired, and no matter what you're going through, God is still in charge.
Definitely.
Yeah, the hope for the festival is that it grows beyond the festival. You know, we need to be able to take the understanding of what we're doing here and translate it into all fruition of freedom. As we live as free people, we need to take what we're doing here and apply it in our daily lives. And that's going to continue for us as a committee on August 3rd. When we get together, we march from the Governor's House to the Sunday morning well, and we continue to build out from there.
Definitely. You heard it here first, folks. We have started our festivities the right way.
Track of the amount of times my father, I'm not as good as people think I am. And to be honest, my strength is honored. Only if you will understand. But on this rocky road, you never left me, God. I'm close to the promised land. And just so you know, I'm not crossing over. If you were not holding my hand, oh, cause I'm smart enough to know that I'm nothing without.
That's it for today's roundup. Be sure to follow us on our daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVA on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kayla Penn. I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Goodbye.